Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Do you want to mention that portions of today's program are sponsored by Abby.com and Standard Supply. All right, going to talk a little bit about, helping startups, businesses to be able to create cash flow in the most efficient ways possible. And I came across this company, Chargeify. That's Charge, C-H-A-R-G, drop the E, Chargeify, CHARGIFY.com. And I'm going to spend some time with Lance Walley and learn a little bit more about this company. I think everyone's looking for a hand in this area. Cash flow is the literally the lifeblood of every company. And so if you don't got cash flow, you don't got much. How are you today, Lance?
I am doing well, and thank you for having me.
Give us your elevator speech real quick.
Basically, there are many and a growing number of businesses that need to charge their customers over and over and over. You hit on it, cash flow. And they charge them monthly or yearly or quarterly or whatever they want. And our software keeps that whole process going. And it actually grows out a lot from just simply charging a credit card or charging a bank account. We started 5 years ago, and as we've helped about 1,300 businesses now, they've pressured us for all sorts of other things, like they want pages where their customers sign up. They want a portal where their customers manage their account. They want us to manage some taxes, send out PDF statements to customers. There's all this activity that goes along with the cash flow during the life of that customer, which is usually, hopefully, for you, the business owner, hopefully years.
Yeah, okay. So how's it different from the way most small businesses do things?
Well, a lot, actually, these days still keep track of this on spreadsheets, or they're doing things manually where they're just, they have some notes somewhere that say that John Doe and Jane Doe need to pay $50 a month for XYZ service.
I literally get emails from my my financial office for our media saying, "Hey, I forgot to bill so and so 2 days ago. I'm doing it now." Sure. So that won't happen in your program, or should not happen.
Yeah, I mean, with Chargeify, your customers are completely automated on our software. We're sending notices on your behalf, emails that appear to have come from you. If there's any problem, like if there's no problem getting paid, no notices is being sent. But notices are sent if there's a problem. If you have a trial period on your product, we're sending an email saying, hey, the trial's about to end. Please sign up for our paid product. There's all sorts of things like that going on as well.
Very interesting. So, wow, that's good to know. Tell me a little bit about the size of your business and a little bit of the scope of your clientele.
Okay, well, size of the business, if you can employee count, there's 17 of us working on it. We are spread around the United States. There's one gentleman in Australia, but we're pretty much a work-from-home business all around the country, Northern California all the way to North Carolina. And as far as scope of clientele, wow, it's all over the map. Most of them are some sort of online service, like software online that they're charging for access to. But a large chunk are also, I guess what you'd call, I hate to say old school businesses. Their businesses around forever. Collecting rent, HOA dues, donations to churches and schools, charging for club membership, which could be a health club or literally like a club you join to compare notes with other people in your profession. Like all those kinds of things, they all share the need to collect payment over and over and over from, their customers or their donors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so what would be a large company for yours? How large is large?
The biggest company using us is a division of News Corp in Australia. There's also a piece of Inc. magazine using us. So different media companies have found use for us as well.
Chargeify, by the way. Go to Chargeify.com. Were you on Shark Tank?
I was not on Shark Tank. Mark Cuban did invest, but it was before he was on Shark Tank. There's a great story about that that's a lot of fun, about how a motorcycle buddy from Texas rode to California, gave me his email address, and we made a deal that evening.
You and Mark Cuban made a deal that evening?
Yes.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool. He seems kind of like I'm not sure if pioneer's the right word, but he's kind of cavalier. He's kind of cavalier about this stuff, and he's very smart. His gut has consistently worked, and he just listens to his gut.
It appears that way. Like I've done traditional VC venture capital investment with other companies, and he's way faster. He can make decisions really quickly, of course. It's his money. So,
of course, he's got a lot of cushion there for error.
That is true.
If you're dealing with a group of dentists, right? Where a good year for them is $250,000 and they've accumulated, $50,000 a month for several years, they're going to be a little more cautious. That's money that Cuban accidentally leaves in his laundry to go to the cleaners.
That is true.
But that's cool. That's a great story. Tell me about the cost. How does the cost work?
We have a number of different plans. It's based primarily on the number of customers that the business will be managing in Chargeify, and then there's also some bells and whistles, some extra features on different plans. But long story short, the average small business starts at about $65 a month, and then there's plans at $129, $169, all the way up into the many thousands per month. But typical small business, anyway, is in the, like $129 per month.
Okay. So, I'm looking at Chargeify.com, again, CHARGIFY.com. I'm at the sign-up and pricing section. So, would an enterprise-level company be able to do the growing business category, which is your largest on here?
We actually have, it's an interesting one. That one, $459 a month, that one appeals to a lot of what I call medium-sized businesses.
There's your enterprise level, and you have to engage with you to learn how much that will actually cost, because because enterprise is huge. It can it can be $1 billion in revenue or $100 billion in revenue.
Actually, on that page, there's a link to. We actually do have 4 enterprise plans as well. And what's different about enterprise is they tend to want. It's they of course want a lower customer cost because they're going to run a lot of customers through it. They also want things like what's called an auditor's report on compliance. They might want an SLA, a service level agreement. There's things that are part of that level of sale that we also do for those bigger plans.
Yeah, that's interesting. I looked at it, and you look at it as wow, that's a lot of money. Not nearly as much money as letting those things slip through the crack, and that simply won't happen with your plan.
Yeah, and give this, here's something to think about with them. If they're managing, say, our biggest plan, 100,000 customers, it's $7,000 a month. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's also only 7 cents per month per customer. And in their world, it's really actually not a lot of money. So.
No, that's really a little money. And cash flow, the value of cash flow isn't merely the amount, but when the amount comes in.
That is true.
It's all about the velocity, if you will. And I'm telling you right now, sometimes if it makes days difference, that's absolutely huge on the economic impact on a company. So, based on what I'm seeing, I think people should really seriously check out Chargeify. And I'm really grateful you came by and told us your story.
Well, I am grateful for you having us on the show.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Chargeify, CHARGIFY.com, Chargeify.com. Our guest today, Lance Walley, and thanks so much for being with us.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
You bet. When we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here is going to show up over there at usdatareview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.